Hey everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. I don't often rewatch my videos on the phone. I usually, if I do rewatch them, because as you know, these are unedited, just stream of consciousness thoughts from an average guy, and I often watch them on my PC, but I don't watch them on the phone. So I realized I know I'm not enunciating very well. I need to speak more clearly, and I also am trying to get my head more in the center of the frame because I was like down here on the videos when you watch them on your phone. PC, they're fine, but here they're on the phone, they're not. And so, trying to make this as fun for everyone as possible. So here we go. Create. I wanted to talk about creating and how important it is, I think, to your soul and to your life and to your essence. And I also think it's especially important now. Like I've talked a lot about what I've been going through the last few months with not even really a breakup, just a quick relationship that was very deep and then caused some pain. I mentioned in the last video I am still have loving. I'm not in love with this person, but I still love this person. And like I said, I don't worry about that anymore, where it's going to go or where it's not going to go. We are friends. I love her as a friend, and like I said, maybe more happens, maybe it doesn't, but I got to be at peace with whatever happens. That's a big part of being at peace in general. But I want to talk about creating. I got a lot of things going on creatively. I still do stand up, not very often. I think I have a show on the 2nd of February, or excuse me, the 10th of February, the second month, the 10th day. And I will let you guys know. Anyone in the Denver area wants to come check me out, but I do have to make sure that is still happening because I believe I was booked for this back in September or October, which is unheard of unless you're a complete pro, which I am very not. If you want to check out some of my videos, I got some comedy videos on this thread. You can check them out. One's really good. The one that's called 11 Minutes in the Lone Tree, I'm pretty proud of that one. Otherwise, it's pretty mediocre stuff. But so I want to share things with you that I may not have in the past. I wrote a book a few years ago. It was published in 2020. It is called Thrown in Reverse. My then son, now daughter Logan, actually did the cover art for this, which I am very impressed with. Back when she was 15, did that. And it's a book about a black vice cop involved in a shooting of a white special needs adult. Two things I know a decent amount about. I had to do a lot of research on being a policeman and the hierarchy of the NYPD. It takes place in New York. And basically, I wrote the story as if I were a black vice cop. A lot of the background stories are his, except I reversed the race on it. Like all the horrible racist things I heard that were kind of told to me and expected for me to accept because I was white when I was a kid. I spun those around as if I were a black kid growing up into this character I created. And also, a big part of it was thinking about how rarely does a black cop shoot an unarmed white person. If it is, it's extreme. If it happens, it's extremely noteworthy. And so, but the reverse happens all the time. And so, what would happen if a group of vice cops not only shot and killed a white person, but a special needs white person? So, there's a lot of things to think about. Often, and as a father of a child with autism and a guy that's worked with a lot of people, dozens, probably hundreds at this point after 9 years, of people with special needs and developmental disabilities, is they are not held in the same esteem, even in the eyes of the law. Their lives they don't count as much, and it's awful, but it's true. And so I tried to go with an original premise. I feel like it's a very original story. And I also wanted to, it had heart. I felt pretty good about it. Took me about 3 years to write. It took me about 20 years to get it written. It had been in the hopper a long time. It was actually kind of inspired by an African man that was shot in New York by 4 vice cops. Of course, the usual, right? 4 white vice cops shooting a black civilian. He was an African immigrant. His name was Amadou Diallo. And it was pretty horrific what happened to him. So I kind of modeled the shooting after him. But everything else it feels like it's an original work, and I'm proud of it. It's my baby, and I'll probably never write another book. It was about 80,000 words long. I'm proud of the length. I'm proud of the heart I put into it. My writing skills are not great, but they're not horrible. Some people have given me pretty good reviews on it. I've probably sold 100 copies on Amazon. If you want to buy it, please do. That'd be amazing. I would love that. But what I'm working on with that now is working on it as a screenplay to make into a film, because I know some filmmakers through doing comedy here in Denver. Janky Jank Productions are two of my favorite guys, and maybe we'll do something. I would love to do that. I'd love to be able to fund that. And you can always find actors. You can always find actors for pretty cheap, especially if they're comics. But so that's what I'm working on, screenplay for that. I'm storyboarding it right now, not as I speak, but literally in my off time, that what little I have, I've been storyboarding that, thrown in reverse into a movie filmable format. So that's exciting for me. I'm also starting a graphic novel. Another weird one that's, I can't imagine anyone else has done this, about a mixed race skinhead, and I couldn't make that up. I had to actually have a friend that was one. He didn't become one until a separation for a while. He was my best friend, one of my best friends from 4th through 9th grade. Mixed race kid, very smart. His mom was in Mensa. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a group of geniuses. And he was gifted and talented, but he was also very messed up because his black father was not in his life. And so as time went on, he became more and more resentful. After 9th grade, he just disappeared. Nobody knew where he went. And he ended up that he was at George Washington High School, a mostly black high school here in Denver, and got his ass kicked all the time. And so he worked out and worked out and worked out and got good at fighting so he wouldn't get his ass kicked anymore. And unfortunately, through these experiences, he came to hate black people and literally became a mixed race, a half black skinhead. I can't even make it up. And I tried to hang out with him in adulthood a few times. I couldn't. I can't hang out with racists, even if they're half black and even if they were my best friend for 5 years growing up. So I'm working on that too. A couple things I want to show you that I've also worked on. Like I said, creating's good for all the things I mentioned at the top. Creativity is good. And like I said, it's also taking up some time in my brain so I don't dwell on a relationship that just broke up. You know, I got to get to a healthy place, and this is helpful. A few acrylic paintings I've done that are they're still working because they're not great. I'm not great at painting. This is Lenny Bruce. This is Sting, but I think he looks more like General Zod from Superman. And then this is my dad, and it's actually not bad except for he looks he looks like a Mexican immigrant, especially with the brick wall behind him. So that's my very Italian dad. So those are all things that I need to rework, give them a wash over and work them over and make them better. But it is important to do these things, I think. Creativity is important. You can't see a lot of stuff behind me, but my walls are covered with pictures of loved ones and also some artwork that people that have been in my life have done. I have a couple of, I'll show this one real quick. This is one of my favorites. This is George Carlin, my friend Mike Davis, his stepdaughter. She's 12 or 13. I think she made this when she was 12. Made it last year for me. It's amazing. It looks pretty much, it's really good likeness of the facsimile I gave her. I was really happy with what she did with it, and I asked her to color it up and make it great. It's not perfect, but neither is art. It's great, though. I love it. She did another one of me, which I'm not going to rip off the wall right now. Another picture of me on stage, and she did the same thing. Just facsimiled my face and put colors around. It's really cool. And maybe I'll probably do that as the picture for the thumbnail. Yeah, so I've got pictures or paintings in here from comics that I've known over the years. Katie Bowman did a nice one of Breonna Taylor after she died and that horrific thing. My friend Marcus Baker, who's the guy I mentioned at the top with the comedy, that I will hopefully be on his show on February 10th. He has a really cool Jackson Pollock-ish thing in here. And I guess that's really it for now, right now. That pretty much brings me to 10 minutes. Oh, I will show you a cute little thing that Logan did when he was young, or back when she was a boy. Trying with the trans thing, I forget all the time. It's not, by the way, when people mess up, it's not always just to be mean. Sometimes it's just that it's hardwired in my brain. For the first 15, 16 years of this kid's life was a boy. So, but I want to show you this. You get a nice crotch shot of me. But I think this is really cool. Isn't that cute? I love the colors. I made it back when she was in elementary school. And then there's a baby one that goes with it, and they're right there on my wall. But yeah, it's about creating. It's about sometimes getting your mind off of stuff. And it's about enjoying the things that people have made for you in your life. And there's 10 minutes. I'm going to be going to a thing tonight called Hairball. I mentioned that in the last video. And I will give you a report on that tomorrow morning. It'll probably take 10 minutes because I'm with some interesting people doing something that doesn't sound particularly interesting. It's going to be just, a band that does old hair covers from the 80s, probably a lot of Bon Jovi. But hopefully be fun, a good experience. I'll let you guys know what's up. Thanks again for listening and watching. I appreciate you all. Stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Oh, bye.